Hi Leo, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. This is going to be a general reading for you. There's no date on the reading, and I trust that when it comes into your feed that it's meant for you at the time. And so this is a healing channel. I've been able to apply my own parts therapy that I do with intensively, and I've been doing it for 8.5 years, still doing it. And so I've been able to apply that to my own tarot cards. You'll hear me say sometimes this part or that part, and you'll be able to relate to it. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with selecting a card from Heal Yourself, reading cards from Ina Segal, and these have been very helpful in all my readings, especially when I do this reading, of course. So we're going to start off by picking a theme for you, Leo. It's going to be something that you're looking at right now. And you know, all the things that we deal with in life, our issues, are sort of centered around, if we can start to see it as themes we're working on in our life, right? Whether it's like something like heartbreak, or there could be a theme of an emotion, a certain emotion that you're dealing with. So let's look. And then, so once I have that theme, I'm going to take the tarot out and I'm going to look at what issue or situation you're dealing with right now in regards to this theme that's coming up for you. And also after that, I'm going to look at what's coming up from your own shadow to heal. And believe it or not, your shadow and those things that we've repressed about ourselves, they are the things that are going to be directing or driving this issue or the situation that's coming up for you right now. And so there will be something that needs healing, and I'll identify that, and then we'll ask the tarot for some guidance. And then I'll leave you with a video called How to Face Your Own Shadow. And on that video, there are it gives it a lot of direction as to where you can go to get some more help, maybe with grounding or journaling. And they're all videos that I've done in the past on my other channel called Carol Cares. So let's begin with my pendulum, and I'm going to ask it, I'm going to direct it to select a card for Leo. So when Leo comes to this reading, what theme are they dealing with right now? So please show me what card. A card for Leo right now. Yeah, I think it's gonna. Sometimes it slows down because it wants to go in the other direction, which I think it's going to do that. Maybe not. Nope, it's just slowing down to start to. Okay. I see the card it wants. It's this one right here. It's always amazing for me what card it picks. I have picked the same card 3 times in this series of readings, which is, I mean, I shuffle those cards every time, and I lay them out differently. Like, I lay them out, so they're definitely going to be, you know, in a totally different order. And so I never know what's coming up right here. So let's get out my book, and we'll see what card. Well, it's not the same one that's come up 3 times, but this one has not come out yet this round. And it's the card of procrastination. You need to change your tune and stop putting things off to tomorrow that you can do today. You are being called to action. There have been important tasks that you have delayed. Even if it's something that you don't want to do, like cleaning the house, paying the bills, looking for a job, losing weight, doing your tax, studying, etc., now is the time to take responsibility to move forward. The point of power is always in the present. This card is showing you that there's an urgency for you to take action. If you are putting off something that is meaningful to you and doubting whether you can do it, The message is to have courage to face your fears and do what you love. What is the worst thing that can happen? You make a mistake. Even if you do, you will learn. So we are going to be looking at, in particular, where in your life are you being called to action? Where is it that you need to stop procrastinating? And you know, it had the word urgency in there. There's an urgency to it. So I'm going to be using the Curious Travels Tarot deck. And then I'm going to clarify with the Radiant Rider Waite. So let's ask Tarot right now for what situation issue is Leo dealing with now in regards to this procrastination. One card, please. What situation is Leo dealing with in regards to, that one wanted to come up. You have the King in reverse. It's the King of Cups in reverse. Actually, I'm going to put that up here. What is coming up from your shadow that needs healing, Leo, in regards to this King of Cups, in regards to procrastination? What's going on? Why is Leo procrastinating? And it seems that I want to have two cards. So you have the High Priestess in reverse, and then you have the Two of Wands behind it. Clarified by the High Priestess, by the Two of Wands. What guidance does the Tarot have for you? One card for that, please. And it is rare that I spit out two cards, and as I say that, I do it again. So this deck is usually pretty good at not spitting out two. Ace of Pentacles in sideways, and clarified by the Hanged Man. So Tarot's definitely wanting to talk for you, and I'm sure that's because there's an urgency to this situation. So let's have a couple cards to clarify the King of Cups. All right, so you have, you know, two cards kind of, this one was tipping over. You have the Hangman again, but that one's coming, it was sideways here, and then the Judgment card as well. So that's underneath the Cups, King of Cups. I'm going to ask for one card for the High Priestess and the Two of Wands, since we already have two on the table. Let's ask for a clarifier here. Let's see how many it gives us. Yeah, four pentacles. I'll leave that here, and if that's enough, that's not enough, I can always pull another one. How about the Ace of Pentacles and the Hanged Man? Oh, that one wanted two, and that one was like that, and that one's like this. You have the Six of Swords in reverse and the Six of Pentacles, both in reverse. Okay, so let's start off with what situation you're dealing with, Leo, in regards to procrastination. And we're going to look at what, like I said, where in your life are you being called to take action? You know, there's an urgency here. So start off with the King. And the King in my deck is a masculine side. Yes, we all have like a masculine side and a feminine side. And it's important that I say that because you get the High Priestess in your shadow. And the High Priestess is definitely a feminine part of us. And we'll talk about that when we get to her. But the masculine side is our mind. It's all about our mind, and the feminine is all about our body. And so you're very much in your head right now, and that's no surprise because there is something you want to do. And this particular part, and I'll call it your ego self, your mind is blocking you from doing it. And oftentimes there's a fear. There's a fear behind it. Our ego self is, first of all, a very scared part. And so you can have fear. The part itself, your ego can be like petrified, going, no, don't you dare go here. Like, you know, we said that there's something you're supposed to do, something you want to do, or there's something, this urgency here, and you're procrastinating, and this is going, no, because it's scared. Also, there could be something, actually a scary memory there. So you can have a lot of fear and you're not really sure where it's coming from, but the part itself can be scared, and then the memory can have some fear in it, right? Some scary stuff. So there is something here that's coming up for you to heal. And I say memory because you're something that you're going to have to heal in order for you to do this step that you're being asked to do. That is how this whole journey works. Whenever there's a step, there's something you need to do, and you're fearing it. You have this incredible, maybe you're feeling a lot of anxiety right now, and you're just like literally, when I get to this point where I know there's something I need to do and I don't want to do it, and my ego self is going, don't you dare, and I can just hear it, but my body, my heart's just pounding, and I'm like, oh my God, this fear in my system. And I've done videos on my other channel called Carol Cares about fear in your system. And I've learned to just get on the floor literally and just shake my legs, because that fear needs to come out of your body. But there's an incredible amount of fear. Now, this is the King of Cups, and Cups is all around our emotions. And so our ego self is petrified of emotions, all emotions. In particular, it's petrified of grief, but it doesn't want you to deal with emotions, and that's why it's in your head, right? Our ego self is not in our body, because that's where our emotions are. So it keeps you up here, keeps you spinning in your head, and maybe you're feeling like you're spinning. You're very much spinning around this situation you have to do, because that's how it keeps you, so that you don't go there, right? That's where that procrastination comes in, is our ego self, our mind going, no, there's this fear to doing it. And so the Hangman comes in a sideways position. Hangman is in an upright position. The Hangman talks about this individual that's hanging upside down, and look at his head, it's glowing. I mean, it's like he feels quite comfortable hanging upside down. There's not one part of him that is afraid. But this is in reverse. And so I can see now that you are completely out of your body. You are not comfortable, like this person is, to be hanging there and to be in your own skin. So it's like you don't even want to be in your skin. You don't even want to be in you. And that's how much you're trying to avoid you. And in order to avoid being in your body and being comfortable in you, you're up in your head right around this, and that's what's keeping you procrastinating. The Judgment card comes in here, and you see how this angel is blowing his horn, and all these people that were asleep in their coffin are like rising to the sound of this horn. They're like, it's like they're becoming awake. They're becoming aware, and there's a huge pull here, urgency again, for you to become awake of what's happening in your own body, Leo, where you have allowed yourself to be run by your ego self, your head, your mind. It's running the show, and that's not you. Real Leo is in the body, but you're not going to go there because there's an incredible amount of fear that's blocking that. And so I still need to get some more information on, like, what is it that's coming up for you right now? And I'm going to find that out, because when we get into your shadow, and those are the things you've repressed about yourself, those are the things you don't want to look at. And so I'm going to understand this and see this as there's something rising here from your shadow that's saying, you put this away when you were younger because you were too young. You couldn't handle this, whether it's an emotion, whether it's a memory, and you've shoved it away. It could be something about you, and you've put it away. Well, you know what? It's coming up for you to heal. And you know it. Like, you know there's something stirring. You know you're pushing something away, and you're up in your head, and it's time for you to wake up to it. And I guess this is my wake-up call, right? Because I mean, that word urgency is sitting there in my head. I'm probably going to say it 10 times. And it's like, it's time for you to wake up. It's to a point where, yes, it's become urgent. So what is it in your shadow? Well, we find the High Priestess as the first card here. And the High Priestess is part of the major arcana. And it's the feminine archetype, right? I talked about your masculine self being in your head. The High Priestess is the first half of the feminine archetype. You have the High Priestess, and then you have the Empress. And these are beautiful feminine qualities, a feminine side of us that we all have. But you've buried it. And what is it? What is the High Priestess? Well, the High Priestess, look at her. She's got this veil on her face in an upright position. These two posts, these two pillars right here. And she's got the cranberry in her hand, right? There's an offering here. It's for anybody. Anybody can access this feminine side to us. But it's hidden from us. It's our unconscious. It's our intuition. It's our inner gut knowing of what to do, of who we are. It's that quality that we all have that we can tap into. It's that power, that intuitive. It's our gut knowing. It's our inner direction. And you've buried that. And like, it's sitting here because it's in reverse. And so when you were younger, the reason why you buried it, the reason why you don't have access to it right now, is because you need to be in your body to access your inner knowing and what to do next, right? So you have this huge fear that's blocking what to do next, or to do what you need to do, right? And you're not sure what it is or how to do it because you're so much in your head. And so there's this real call here to get back into your body, because that's where your intuition is, your inner guidance. Right behind that, right behind your inner guidance is your Two of Wands. What's the Two of Wands? Wow, look at this little girl on the swing. I was called to use this deck. This Two of Wands is a little girl on a swing. Maybe you liked the swing when you were younger, Leo. Maybe you would go on that swing and you would dream about what you wanted to do, who you were meant to be. Look at her. Look what she's holding in her hand. She's holding the world. That's the world. She had the world in her hands. Leo, you had the world in your hands. Leo, you are the ultimate child, that creative part of you, that enthusiastic part of you. That's who you are, Leo, as your sign. This was you when you were younger. This is every Leo that sat here. You are the fire element. You have that fire in you, right? It's sitting here and it's burning. It's burning to come out. What it is you wanted to do when you were younger, what it is you dreamt to do. Well, it's time for you to take action into that step. Maybe you know what it is, maybe you don't, but it is burning and it's urgent. It's so hot that it's ready to come out. And here it is right here. But you have to get into your body, Leo. You have to get into your body. And the last card that comes up is the Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is a card that is often called a miser card, right? And this particular card, I mean, it talks about the pentacle, which can refer to our material things, like holding on to our material things, right? But because it's in your shadow, that's about your childhood, it's when you were a teenager. And so you're holding on to this. It's almost like there's something that you might have lost when you were younger. There was a real loss that maybe took place, I think, around some sort of dream you had. It's a loss around your dream, and you've been really holding on to the loss of that dream, but it's coming up for you again. It's like, here it is. It's like it's dangling right in front of you going, do you want it, Leo? Do you want it? And you're like, you know it's time. You know it's time. But you're ego is going, no, you can't. And maybe you have some sort of a memory around this. When we are redirected in life when we were younger, you know, we all came here on earth. When you were on that swing, imagine yourself 4, 5, 6 years old. You knew exactly what it was you wanted to do. Look how you're holding on to that beautiful, you're cherishing it, that beautiful planet in your hand. Like you knew exactly the world. The world was at your fingertips. You knew what it was. You knew where you wanted to go. Something happened. And so you've held on to that grief. You've held on to those emotions of losing that when you were younger. And you need to get to that and find out, you know, what was it that I lost? Maybe you know. And what emotions did I feel when I lost that when I was younger? And those are the emotions that this King of Cups, King of Emotions, and your ego self is going, don't you dare touch those emotions. Don't you dare go there. Don't do it. You couldn't go there when you were younger. You were too little. But you're an adult now, Leo. You can handle this. You can handle those big emotions of grief when you couldn't do what you wanted to do, when you weren't allowed, when you were sent into a different path. You couldn't feel those emotions of shame when maybe you were told you didn't matter, or you felt like you didn't matter because you weren't put first, right? They didn't pay attention to what you wanted to do, or your emotions that you felt around that. And so there are a lot of emotions here that are sitting here. I'm going to say some big ones like grief, some big ones like shame, a lot of sadness here, right? Around what it was that you lost when you were younger. But it's time now to get back to it, right? You're never, ever too old. Never too old to go back on your path. We were always on that path. We just got sent to a different direction, right? So what guidance does the tarot have for you? What guidance does the tarot have for you? Well, here's the Ace of Pentacles in a sideways position. The Ace in my deck is an offer from the universe, and it's a gift. And in particular, it wants to give you this beautiful golden pentacle. The pentacle is our body. It's our body. It's like, Leo, you have a body, but you're living here in your head. You have this body, and I'm going to give you this as a gift because it's time now that you get back in your body. You need to access that intuition. You need to access what it is that you were meant to do, that inner guidance. It's sitting there, right, for you. Maybe you can almost taste it, right? And so here's the gift here. Because, you know, the Hangman comes back out again. Remember I said he was here, right here. Well, this time, he's not in reverse. The universe wants you to get back into your body because it wants you to start to feel comfortable in your own skin again, right? Because when you take the time to get back in your own body and feel some of these emotions that you were meant to feel when you were younger about not being able to do what you wanted to do, that's going to bring you to a place where, guess what? You're going to feel comfortable in your own skin right now. You're going to be in your body, and you're going to be able to use your intuition to go where? Well, let's see. Let's get the clarifiers here. Well, Six of Swords comes in reverse. In an upright position, the Six of Swords in my deck, because it's in this deck, because it's in, this is a healing channel, means one thing for me. It means safety. And I really have to ask you if you're in a safe place right now. I think in order for you to take this next step for yourself, and maybe even to take this next step to get back in your body and start to feel again, you need to get yourself, Leo, to a safe place, because this is in reverse. In an upright position, I would have asked you, Leo, are you in a safe place? Because this gondolier man, he's taking this mother and this child to safer waters, because look how rough it is right here. But this is in reverse. And so for me, it tells me that I think there's a lot of fear and resistance on your part around seeing that you're not in a safe place. Maybe you have a lot of fear. And maybe part of your fear that you have is the fact that you're not in a safe place right now, whether it's being in, maybe you're in contact with a family member that you need to let go of. Maybe there's a partner you're with, and it could be an intimate partner or not an intimate partner. Maybe you're in a job where you're not in a safe place. Like this is saying you need to get yourself in a safe place because you're not safe. In order to do this work, in order to take that next step for yourself, to get over this procrastination, you need to be in a safe place so that you can feel. And so that your parts feel safe, your inner children, they feel safe. And so your Six of Pentacles comes in as the last card in reverse. And in upright position, you have this, this individual that's doling out these pentacles to these beggars. And he's only going to give these beggars the exact amount that they ask for. You know, one asks for 3 because that's all he thinks he's worth is 3 pentacles. This other one thinks he's worth 2. And so he just gives him 2, right? Had they asked for 100 pentacles, well, he would have given that beggar 100 pentacles. But they don't feel that. They don't feel that worth. And so this is in reverse because there's, I think, there's a real resistance to you realizing that, you know, because you're not in a safe place. I mean, you also don't feel worthy. This is a card of just not feeling worthy enough. And so there's a real focus here where you need to work on your self-worth. But this is all tied into being in an unsafe place, in an unsafe relationship that's going on right now. And I think when you start to awaken to, when you get back in your body and you start to awaken what's really going on here, right? And because when you're up in your head, you don't see it. You're in a place of real dissociation, and that's what that is when you're not aware of what's really going on in the present. Because this book, when I read it, it talked about, I have to read it again. It was a line in there that talked about being present, and it said, the point of power is always in the present. That's your situation. Because you don't have any power right now. You don't feel like you have any power. You feel unworthy. You feel like you can't do this. I can't do this. But once you become present, and that means to get back in your body, you're going to start to see. That's where the power comes from, right? When you start to feel some of these emotions, that's going to bring you to a place of presence when you're back in your body. And who you really are, back to who you really are. And so I'm going to leave you with the final video that I said, I think I mentioned at the beginning, about how to face your own shadow. And I'll give you some real good tips in there, how to get back in your body, and how to ground and how to journal. So have a look at that, and I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're working through. This journey is the most difficult journey of your life, your healing journey, but it's the most important one. So talk to you soon, Leo. Bye.